Broadcasting live from Houligans Sports Grill on ISB in Daytona Beach, Florida, it's the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show with the Gridiron Gang. Fellas, let's flip the switch and do this. Welcome to another Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show. I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Ralph Smith and Mr. Larry Wesley, and then excuse CC in his absence, and then we'll have Jerry on a little later. We're going to dedicate this special show to Coach Moore. We're going to send well wishes out to his family, prayers for strength and comfort. Coach Moore passed on this morning, so we're going to dedicate this Gridiron Show to Coach Moore. Larry, we'll start out with you. I know you have huge closeness to Coach Moore, and I'll, take the floor.
Yeah, no question about it. Daryl, quite a somber day, and Wildcat Nation losing one of the iconic figures in athletic history at Bethune-Cookman in the form of Charles Wesley Moore, the 10th football coach of the Fighting Wildcats, coached between 1973 and 75. Perhaps the most dominant 3-year period of Bethune-Cookman in the SIAC. In those 3 years, he won 2 conference championships and finished second in the 3rd year. Winning percentage of 80.9% of his wins, a record of 27-6-1 tie. He is, to me, the architect of the modern part of football at Bethune-Cookman, particularly bringing us out of the 20th century into the 21st century here. Daryl, he cast a shadow that was so large in this community. He was the president's son. And when he took over for Coach Cy McLaren in 1973, you could have expected the kind of dominance that the Wildcats would grow into under his tutelage. But what must be known is that Wesley Moore started working at Bethune-Cookman recruiting for Jack McLaren in the late 60s. So he was laying the foundation in the recruitment of players such that when he took over in 73, the talent was there. And all that needed to happen at that point in time was to put together a coaching staff to develop. I think what happened more than anything else, Coach McLaren could then focus on basketball, took over in athletics as athletic director, and West on football. And did he ever do a wonderful job? We played some outstanding teams. We dominated the SIAC to SIAC opposition during those 3 years. We played outstanding. Went to a bowl game, played in the Azalea Bowl in 1974, beating Langston, Oklahoma. But it was the players, it was the guys he developed, and the way that Bethune-Cookman went about their business during those 3 years. And he will sorely be missed as the great coach that he was and the iconic figure. I would advise Wildcat Nation to go to the Wildcat Athletic website for more information. Any celebrations that will be for Coach Moore here in Daytona Beach. But let me just on him for those 3 years as a statistician and to see some of the greatest
Most definitely. How was, with this happening, how was your week otherwise?
Well, the week was going along pretty good until that call came in this morning from athletic director Lynn Thompson, and then Reggie Moore, Wesley's brother, called. But other than that, my week has been going pretty good. I sort of go at the weather. So the weather's been kind of goofy this week with the rain that we've had. But we're at Thursday right now, and we know that we're headed toward a football weekend. And our Wildcats will be taking on quite a challenge. So it's not a bad week. I just got to now shift my focuses on the Moore family and the tributes that are coming into them, and to find out what we can do in this hour of their need.
Definitely so. Ralph?
Not much. It's been raining, and I'm talking to Larry on the phone most of the time. But I do remember Coach Wesley. In fact, he took over the football team my senior. I was just telling Larry earlier, you know that Coach Mo was there because you could hear him from the campus all the way up to
Wimpy's, yeah.
But he commanded attention when he was around. So he's going to be totally.
Definitely so. Definitely so. As I said, giving a shout out to Coach Moore's family.
Absolutely.
And definitely sending prayers up for them. Special show dedicated to him. Guys, let's get to our SWAC week recap. Quite a bit of things happened in the SWAC this past week. Let's go Saturday matchup. So last Saturday, those Rattlers go into Miami last weekend, come up short 56-9. No surprise there on that. So then we go Mercer comes in the Daytona Beach, final score 31-2. We'll cover that here shortly. Then Miles College, Alabama State 24, Miles 3. Kentucky State goes into Alabama A&M. That final score was 49-7. Alabama A&M coming out on the good end of that. Tuskegee plays Grambling. Final score, Grambling 37, Tuskegee 20 on that score. Then Lane goes into Jackson State. Jackson State wins that contest 58-7. Then we have Texas Southern going to Rice. Rice 69, Texas Southern 7. Savannah State goes to Southern. Final score, Southern 42, Savannah State 10. Prairie View goes to Northwestern State. Prairie View 37, Northwestern State 31. Mississippi Valley at Lamar. Lamar wins that game 28-14 over Mississippi Valley. And Alcorn goes to Vanderbilt. Of course, Vanderbilt 55, Alcorn State nothing. And finally, rounding it out, Arkansas Baptist, goes to Arkansas Pine Bluff. Final score, Arkansas Pine Bluff 73, Arkansas Baptist 0. And a little flip in that game because we know the week before,
absolutely,
it was on the other side of that. That'll take us right into our Pro First Sports Management SWAC week schedule rankings. Prairie View A&M will be going to Michigan State, school Ralph's kind of familiar with there. That's a 3:30 p.m. kickoff there in East Lansing. Our Wildcats, of course, will be also traveling to Michigan, Western Michigan, Kalamazoo, to be exact. That is a 6:30 p.m. kickoff there in Waldo Stadium in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Mississippi State will be going to Murray State, 7 p.m. kickoff in Murray, Kentucky. Alabama State goes to Samford. That's a 7 p.m. kickoff in Birmingham. Arkansas Pine Bluff goes to Tennessee State. That's a 7 p.m. kickoff there in where our season started at last year in Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium in Memphis. Then Southern goes to Jackson State. That's going to be a huge matchup. That's a 7 p.m. kickoff there in Veterans Memorial Stadium in Jackson. Edward Waters travels to Alcorn. That's a 7 p.m. kickoff. Grambling goes to Texas A&M Commerce, 7 p.m. kickoff out in Commerce, Texas. Then Georgetown out of Kentucky goes to Alabama A&M. That's a 7 p.m. kickoff in Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah, Daryl, that Tennessee State Pine Bluff game is in Memphis. That's the old Southern Heritage Classic, which used to feature Jackson State and Tennessee State. That's played in the Liberty Bowl.
Liberty Bowl, yeah.
Right there
Memphis is home, yeah.
You're
home
right,
stadium,
exactly.
So, yeah, definitely. Then let's go to the FCS computer rankings. And I want to stick a quick pin in something, and we're going to discuss this here a little bit later, but at number 11 in the FCS computer rankings, FAMU comes in at number 11. They were previously 10. At number 14 in power rankings, Mercer comes in at number 14 in power rankings. They were previously 18. So I'm going to stick a pin in that, and we're going to come back to that a little later when we go through our coverage. At 61, Jackson State comes in. They were previously 59. Alabama State, 74. They were previously 81. Alabama A&M comes in at 85. They were previously 88. Prairie View A&M comes in at 86. They were previously 93. Alcorn State comes in at 87. They were previously 84. Grambling State comes in at 88. They were previously 100. Texas Southern comes in at 97. They were previously 87. Southern comes in at 101. They were previously 107. Our Wildcats come in at 117. We were previously 117. Arkansas Pine Bluff comes in at 126, previously 124. And Mississippi Valley State comes in at 129. They were previously 129. So there you have it, guys. There you have it. Now, let's go through our SWAC football ranking. So, FAMU comes in 0-0 in the conference, 2-1 overall, and this is in the East. Alabama State comes in no wins, no losses in the conference, 1-1. Alabama A&M, no wins, no losses in the conference, comes in 1-1 overall. Jackson State, no wins, no losses in conference, comes in at 1-1. Our Wildcats, no wins, no losses in conference, comes in at 0-2 overall. Rounding out the East, Mississippi Valley State, no wins, no losses, conference overall 0-2. In the West, Texas Southern comes in at 1-0. They're 1-1 overall. Southern, no wins, no losses in the conference, comes in at 1-1. Grambling State, no wins, no losses, conference 1-1. Arkansas Pine Bluff, no wins, no losses, conference 1-1. Prairie View A&M, 0-1 in the conference, 1-1 overall, and Alcorn State rounds it out at no wins, no losses, conference overall 0-2. It wraps up our Pro First Sports Management SWAC week recap and rankings. Now, that'll take us right into our 1923 Society NIL chat. Guys, and we're going to cover it every week. It's so much of a big deal for NIL, name, image, and likeness. I heard a comment earlier today when I was in the store, like, hey, they're not going to sit DJ U down at Florida State because he costs too much.
Absolutely.
He costs too much.
Business decision.
Yeah, it's a business decision, and he's just got to play out of it. Yep. And that's, that's what happens. That's what we know that to be truth and fact.
And it drives the fan base.
Oh
nuts.
yeah, it does. It does.
Not a lot of them don't understand that part of it.
The biggest thing you hear coming out of that is, man, we spent too much money on them.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But there's, we know there's nothing you can do about it. It's just
welcome to the portal.
Yeah, it's what it is. It's it's ever so changing, and you get what you
what you put. You hope you get what you pay for, right?
Right. Definitely.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky, Ralph. You said it right. You said it right.
Almost like throwing dice.
Right. Definitely so. So, what, Ralph, in your I won't say your guesstimation, how much of a football team is put together through NIL?
Well, a lot of that depends on what level you're at it, too. Of course, the Power of Five plays very, very, very big. I remember last year, the Nebraska head coach said, in order to get a good quarterback out of the portal, it costs you $1.
Wow, $1.2 million.
So Florida State, if you only played 400, they are. But it's
that that is kind of what happens.
And it depends on the position that an individual plays, determine how much value he has in NIL.
And the quarterback is always, like you said, is going to be the highest.
It's going to be the highest.
And that has been a big gripe kind of coming out of Boulder this week with, of course, the Buffaloes fall to Nebraska. There's an image of or video of Shadur Sanders, who is the highest paid NIL person in the
stadium
country.
with 2 minutes left.
Yeah. And, of course that doesn't sit well with fans. It doesn't sit well with, I'm sure administration, staff, things of that nature. We don't know the inside ins and outs of it, but it's,
But on the other hand, though, I kind of always figured that was going to be an issue in college. And what I mean by that is, of course, you're going to play the quarterback the most money.
Right.
And then you're probably going to pay the lineman the least amount of money. But
Yes.
the quarterback, the lineman is going to determine how well he.
Right.
And so that's going to always be an issue.
Yeah, it's going to stay an issue.
At the college level.
Definitely. So it's going to constantly be one. So,
yep.
We have NIL here at Bethune-Cookman. There's 2 for sure that I know about. Of course, the 1923 Society, which there's over $30,000 committed into it, have been committed into it, as well as, the same for, I don't know how much as far as the Maroon and Gold Collective that you saw at the game. But it's a new startup, and it's, going around in college, that particular Senil. But we encourage you to definitely join all of you. It's, guys can have as many NILs as they want to. Right. So, and there's really, never too much.
And it really depends on how many following they have on
social media. On social media. Definitely.
The more following is, if you take example, the young lady that played at LSU last year, Reese. I think she had something like 20,000-30,000 followers.
And it was also said that, hey, it would be better for her and the young lady out of Iowa to
stay in college.
Yeah, because
they made more money.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Guys, let's pivot. We've covered NIL. Let's pivot straight into our Bethune-Cookman versus Mercer recap. So, let's just go through the notes, guys. So we come into that game jacked up. We did not play bad against, as bad as expected against USF. Come back in. That USF team eventually goes into Bryant-Denny Stadium and gives Alabama fits last week.
Great football game.
Yeah, right. Great football game. So we come in, we drive the ball down the field decently. I won't say we have Mercer on the ropes, but we have a lot of good things going for us early. Moving the ball, Cam Ransom at quarterback, moving the ball in there. What happened? Final score of that game is 31-2.
When you hear people say that the score is not an indication of the game, and that was truly that for the game that we saw on Saturday. Because if Bethune-Cookman take advantage of their opportunity, they had great opportunity. They're leading that game 21.
What do you mean, Ralph? So,
all right. So we had 2 drop passes where the receiver was at least 2 steps ahead of the defender, which that's touchdown.
Gotta have those, right? That's we call that money ball.
That's money ball. Then we drive the ball down inside the 10, and we fumble. So that's 21 points there.
Drive killer. Yeah, I mean,
it took
drive momentum.
It not only took the win out of the team, but it also took the win out of the fans as well. And then from that point forward, we couldn't do it right.
Well, your margin of error is extremely small.
Yes.
In a sense that you're playing a school that is an FCS like you are, but they are a perennial conference contending champion each year. They
Playoffs
go
every
to the
year.
playoffs.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
even though they're on the road and they've got a new coach, for us, when those opportunities are availed themselves to us, we got to cash in. We can't come up in.
And of course, not to have excuses or anything of that nature, but you said they had a new coach. With that coach came the majority of his team from Gardner Webb. So
right.
these guys have been playing together. He has
Same
continuity.
system. Same
right.
system.
All you doing taking it from one place to another.
That's it. They flipped 49 football players. They had an entirely different roster.
Yes.
Because the team that they had the
Right.
previous year followed the previous coach at Mercer to his new
Right
launch
destination.
point. And that's
right.
essentially the new landscape of football right now with this NIL. This is what you're going to see.
Exactly.
That entire teams just shift. Well, we're building a roster. We're building a team. We're learning to win. And those points were huge for us.
Yes.
They were.
Yes.
They were. Yes. They definitely were. The ultimate was, we were driving down there to the end zone and, we go to hand the ball off. We run a, jet sweep. It's a keeper for the quarterback. And man, I mean, as soon as he was handing it off, there was number 0, man. That guy was a menace all night for Mercer. He's right there in the quarterback's face. And, unfortunately, we fumbled the ball. But, and just couldn't recover from there. Mercer started running, wheel routes and things of that nature. And they finally got in sync to playing great football. And we could not, handle that.
But the part with that though, we stopped making first down and kept our defense on the field.
Yes.
I don't care what defense you got. You got to make first downs to give them a break. We kept them on the field almost the entire game because we were 3 and out.
Well, we became, let's call it straight. We became what we have always been, very predictable.
Very.
And every team, good or bad, indifferent, you have to understand your tendency. And if those are good tendencies, you lean on them. If they're bad tendencies, you got to make adjustments in those areas.
Yes. That's
essentially what defines winning and losing.
It truly is. It truly is. So, guys, we go through the game. We hope to go into halftime 14-0, right? Unfortunately, turn the ball over. They get another touchdown, so we go into halftime at 21-0.
As soon as they scored 14, my eyes, because I was sitting near the east end zone.
Yes, definitely.
My eyes immediately went to the scoreboard to see how much time was left.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking to myself, they're kicking to us. There's probably less than 2 minutes to go in the half, right around that. We get the football. We sit on this football. We go into halftime. We make adjustments. We get the second half kickoff. We're only down 2 scores. We're still in the ball game.
Yes.
But in that period of time, we went from being 2 touchdowns down
3 touchdowns
to being 3 touchdowns down. Significant swing in momentum at that particular point. And I just don't think we could come back. I felt like we were not able to come back from that.
We definitely weren't able to bounce back from that. We're still getting continuity as a part of our team. A lot of these guys, this is their first time playing. We're playing a lot of young people, and I know we'll cover that here very shortly. I mean, starting the left tackle is a freshman guy. Tikio Schultz starting out. Injuries and
a
things.
Good football player.
Yes, definitely so.
Is a good football player right now. He's just young and doesn't have collegiate reps.
Right.
But he's a talent.
That's a team to really,
Absolutely.
As you said earlier, Mercer is no slouch by any means. So.
What helped me psychologically get through this week, after I've looked at this game 2, 3, 4 times, I'm writing this off as these first 3 games are essentially preseason for me. That's how I'm looking at it.
Right.
We're competing. I want to win, but I have to treat it for what it really is because we got a brand new football team also. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't be better and we should not show improvement each week, but I'm saying to myself that, okay, in a perfect world, we could get 1 or 2 of these games at most, maybe 1. But if we don't, I'm still in preseason. I need to be getting better because everything's still in front of me. I need to be getting better for when we go into conference play.
Definitely so. And Mr. Holmes said it good on here.
He really
Teams
did.
don't have to beat you when you beat yourself. And that's, that inevitable thing where you take a weapon out and you use it on yourself and you
Yeah.
stab yourself in the foot.
You can't continue to lose games through self-inflicted means.
No.
That's anti-productive.
Right.
And so we got to get better in that regard, from that standpoint. So I thought that the article that Stephen Holmes wrote, as well as the one that Jerry wrote, they were very, very open-minded articles, fair articles.
Very, very, very
and,
fair.
And they touched on the key points.
They did. And if you haven't read those articles, go to hailwildcats.com and also the AV BCU, and read those articles, and they will truly bring you up to speed on where things are. Huge shout out for this weekend to big time Oren. Oren goes in and we were shifting people in and out.
We played a lot of
we had a lot of people play. A lot of young guys too.
Well, a lot, right? I mean,
yeah,
a lot of quality young guys got some reps, and that's good.
Yes, definitely so. Guys, Oren comes in, presses that guy, but that's what you expect out of a guy who, he comes from a D1. So a team of that nature, he matches up against well.
No question. And you could see it. I watched this get off constantly through the game.
Yes, definitely.
You could tell he is a big time football player who's played big time football. Okay.
Right.
And he's been on that upper level stage.
Definitely.
So it's nothing new for him. Definitely. And he generated pressure throughout the game.
Yes, definitely. So go ahead, Ralph.
But this is my point. I still think that we got to define what we want to do on offense because I'm not sure I know what we're trying to establish. I'm not sure. I think, I can understand that we're just trying to get all these new players going, but we got to make some progress on that offense. And if we're going to start making.
So is there, I don't want to ask you right now, is there a suggestion until we get through our grading and things of that nature? But let me just read these numbers. Cam Ransom finishes the night 14 of 29 for 127 yards, 1 interception. He rushed 10 times for 19 yards. Okay, that's on the offensive side of the ball. On the defensive side, Raymond Woody III led the defense with 9 tackles, 7 solo, and an interception. G.K. Brown had a pair of sacks over on the defensive side of the ball. As far as stats go, Mercer, total yards, 465, Bethune-Cookman, 156. And kind of to Ralph's point, I think it was going into the fourth quarter.
Yes.
We had 98 yards on offense.
Total off.
Not just going into the fourth quarter.
No,
into it, right.
It was into the fourth quarter. Like 3 minutes to go in the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's my point, though. We can say all this stuff, but if we don't make some progress on offense, I think it's going to be a long time. Because I don't care. I think we got an excellent defense, but you can't keep them on the field. You got to get them off the field.
That point, Mercer, 244 yards passing, Bethune-Cookman, 127. Rushing yards, Mercer 221, Bethune-Cookman 29. Penalty yards, Mercer 15 for 133, Bethune-Cookman 5 for 35. That Woody effect is back in there. So you're bringing that number back down. First downs, Mercer 25, Bethune-Cookman 10. Third down conversions, Mercer 3 for 12, Bethune-Cookman
0
for 12. That's not good.
Oh.
Fourth down conversions, Mercer 1 for 3, Bethune-Cookman 1 for 1. Total time of possession 33 minutes 46 seconds for Mercer, 26 minutes 14 seconds for Bethune-Cookman. Not a huge difference, but there's a difference in score.
Absolutely. But the Russian part, I don't really understand, because I pretty much thought we were going to run the ball well this year. I think we got 2, 3 really, really great, good running back. We just got to come up with a way to get those guys in space, put them in a position where they can fail.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. We have to definitely do that. And, is that running outside or inside, or, I mean, what,
If you look at the game, I mean, I've looked at that game about 4 times this week. We don't even try to get to the edge. We're running straight up the gut. And our running backs aren't that big.
Well, there's an old adage in football that's been consistent for years. You run at speed. You run at speed. You run away from strength. And so the strength of that team we saw Saturday, Mercer, was their D-line.
Yes.
They were grown men in there. And they came to take away the run, which is what they did. And so you have to then, again, like I said, check your tendencies and adjust that. What do we always say about Florida teams? Wherever you, in the NFL, college, Florida teams are known for speed.
They are known for speed. And it kills,
that's why people come to recruit Florida.
Right.
And so therefore you would think that we would try to use our speed as an advantage and get to the edge. I thought Mercer did a better job of getting to the edge than we did.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. We aren't putting our guys in positions to excel. We're not trying to get to the edge. We're trying to run power.
And would you say that the linemen just aren't there as of right now to run power?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know that.
What I'm saying, from what you've seen, we can't dig a guy out to be able to open that hold up.
But the way you do that, though, you try to get to the edge and get them concentrating on that. But what we did, we just ran straight at their power. We went straight at their power, and we didn't get anything. So it was difficult if we didn't establish the run to pass effectively.
Well, the other part of that, if you look at our run, even when we run inside, we don't really have an RPO off of it. Because if we are getting pushed at the point of attack and that linebacker's sitting in there, then if you fake that and come up with a pass over the middle, you're going to affect the defense. But we're not showing any of that now for whatever reason.
We aren't.
Let me ask you guys this, and of course, devil's advocate. I'm not going to say these 3 games don't matter, but for lack of a better word, they don't matter. All right. Is that because are you seeing this because of that, or are you expecting to see something different 2-3 weeks from now?
Well, I'm certainly hoping. I'm not inside the head of the brain trust, but that's all I can do. Hope springs eternal. So, I'm hopeful there's more to come that's different from what I'm saying.
Right.
But again, like I said, always it's about adjustment. I don't care how you play the game. It's about adjustment.
And we aren't making those adjustments. We saw Mercer adjust to what we were doing.
Absolutely.
Because
absolutely.
We had them on the ropes.
Oh, we were right there. That should have been a 4-quarter football game. It should have been hanging in the balance all the way to the end.
Exactly. That's my point.
But we just didn't capitalize on our opportunity.
We made absolutely, I mean, from what I can see as a fan, I don't know whether they did or not, but what I can see as a fan, we made no adjustment. We kept trying to attack their.
No disguising with our offense.
Nope.
No audibles, motions, unusual formations. We ran one kind of motion as the jet sweep, and that was the.
Listen, when I saw how they were playing us in that first drive, with our 6'3" quarterback able to get on the edge.
Yes.
That's a freight train you got out there with a football in its hand. And we didn't challenge the line of scrimmage to have him run that football.
Nope.
Because he would have run over some people.
Nope.
The play before the fumble, it was, you pretty much had man on man out there with number 2, and, he glides into the end zone. Even if the guy comes up and makes contact,
easily.
He's back there by the scoreboard by the time he figures out where he's at.
Easily. But the other part of that, Daryl, when you're inside the 10-yard line, as we were, most teams are going to be in goal line defense.
Right.
They're going to be bringing more people than you can block.
Right.
I have a problem for me with a lot of the eye candy. If I got a quarterback that size and I'm going to run him, I'm going to go ahead and run power run with him.
Right.
All that faking in the backfield and no. We're going here and you got to stop it.
This your game. You're in shape, right? Because you go.
That's it. That's it. I mean, that's it. That's not a little bit of jewel back there.
You're going to dream about football when you get home because you're going to have it so much, so many times.
Cam Ransom is a grown man.
Yes.
Okay? He's a grown man football player. And so, therefore, sometimes you can't get cute. You got to go ahead.
No, you got to.
You got to go ahead and mano a mano go at it.
Definitely.
But see, I also think, this is my opinion, that we got to get an identity. And we really don't have an identity on our offense on, hey, bread and butter, this is what we all over the place. We're all over the place.
And like you said, guys, we don't have the answers to it.
No,
Hopefully
we
see something different coming. But as of right now,
your questions are perfect. When you ask me, am I hoping for more? I certainly am. I've seen this, for 2 weeks, and I know we got talent, and we got good talent. It's about scheming up. And again, I'm not in the offensive. I'm not trying to be an armchair quarterback, right. But I'm treating this like
we're just a part of the gridiron game, the fix game.
And these three games,
right,
are preseason for me,
Definitely.
And I want us to get better each week. Are we? I don't know.
Guys, let's go into grading. Before I go into that, just not to drive it in the sand, but a dreadful stat. We ran the ball 26 times for 29 yards. That averages out to 1.1 yard per carry.
Now, if my grandmother saw those stats, she would say, because most everybody who has a grandmother know grandmother's cut right through the chase. Okay, she would probably say that's the definition of insanity.
Going out and embarrassing me.
Like grandma used to say, bless your heart.
Bless your heart. She said, I expect more of you than that, okay?
If you ain't going to do it right, don't be out there.
That's it. That's it.
So, yeah, that's, as you said, Larry, the toughest football is, we're going through it right now.
No doubt.
You're going through it right now. And in a few minutes, we'll cover it to where, WMU went through the same thing.
Absolutely.
They've been through the same thing.
Absolutely.
So, it remains to be seen where we're going.
But you can either honor effort or praise progress. And you can honor effort, but if you ain't making any progress, it's almost like you just spitting in the wind. And even if we say the first two games was like preseason, we still got to make some progress moving forward. And I just don't see, as a fan, not as a coach, as a fan, where our offense is making that much progress. That's just my opinion.
And a very valid point. My only thing to that is, to me, strictly my opinion, to me, it looks like we're just trying to make it through until it's time. And I know nobody likes that because we all want to, when we show up on Saturday,
we want to win. We expected to win.
You know,
well, that's all that I really have to hope for.
Right.
Because
right,
I mean,
right.
literally, that if that is true, then that does give me hope.
But and the bad part about it is when you see inklings of where we did things good and have that opportunity, and then it ends in the way it did Saturday,
Yeah, but we wouldn't be having the same conversation if we take advantage of the opportunities that we had. I mean,
Yeah.
if we take advantage of the opportunities that we had, we're leading 21-0.
But then, okay, if you say that, and of course I'm going to play devil's advocate, if you say that, our coaches, even though the offensive play calls, right, they put us into position to score 21 points.
Correct.
Huh?
And so,
yeah, but I don't go that way because I know where you're getting ready to go. Okay, of course they put us in the position to do that, but our expectations is that they're going to continue to put us in position to do that.
But what I was going that way a little bit.
How long is the game?
It's a 60-minute game.
All right, then you got to play. You got to be making progress 60 minutes. You just can't say, "Well, the first 15 minutes I played good." Yeah, but what about the other? 45?
Well, I mean, they didn't. But what I'm saying is, our offense. You can have. Granted, our offense does not have a true identity at this time, but we also got to catch the ball. We can't fumble the ball against a team like Mercer who goes to the playoffs.
Small margin of error,
yes.
like I said.
It will kill you down the stretch.
Yep.
You know,
we're not good enough to have those marginal errors slide away from us. When they present themselves, we have got to capitalize. And then the other part about it, Ralph, we look like we should have had 21 points, but guess what? Mercer started making adjustments to take away those things that we were doing.
Yep.
We didn't counter what they were doing to us.
No. Nope.
So the question is asked, are we grading on a curve this week? Because we're about to go into our
Who are we grading, though? We're grading the players or the coach?
All. A-L-L. And you got a week for them to calm down. Not so much for us because I'll see them Saturday. But all right. So, and one thing I want to say before we go into this grading, guys, we gotta let it go that, and I'm going to say it. You can say what you want. You can unfollow the show or what have you. We got to leave the whole coaching thing alone.
Yeah.
Coach Woody's the head coach. We have had improvements. We're still growing. As Jerry wrote in his article, this is year number 1. This is his first recruiting year. And we have seen some things that quite a bit of things that actually work. When this team gets together in jail, one thing about it that a lot of people aren't realizing. We have no losses that will keep us from going to the Celebration Bowl.
That everything's still in front of us. That's the whole point. That's why I said preseason.
Right.
That's exactly why I framed it, in that manner. And again, I'm not trying to be an armchair quarterback, but guys, when I watched that game,
we know football. We watch football.
Yeah,
and we got to call it like it is.
Let me tell you something. When I watched the first quarter of that football game, first half, if you didn't know who the teams were, if you didn't have,
the jerseys and the emblems and the logos,
based on the discipline of the teams, we looked like the better coach team. They were getting the personal fouls. They were doing the dumb thing.
Well, it was, what was it, 5 for 133 yards and penalties? Yeah.
We were the ones playing clean football. They were jumping offside, false starts. They were making the mistakes. We looked really good. We looked really good.
They were 15 and 133, and we were 5 of 35.
Yeah, I mean, I took a lot of solace in that because I said we looked like a really good football team. But where we didn't make the grade was in terms of our opportunities that were presented to us. We didn't cash them in.
We didn't cash. All right, guys, here we go. Grading time. Professor, get your red pen out, big guy.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm not going to use the yellow tonight, okay?
Let's go quarterback. Ralph, I'll go with you first.
Thanks, I appreciate it. I'm going to give the quarterback D-.
Expound on it a little bit.
Well, I mean, there were opportunities when we broke out of when he broke out to the sideline, that he could have ran the ball for 6, 7, 8 yards, but he chose to throw it out of bounds. And I didn't understand because I look at him as an RPO quarterback.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if he's told not to run or he just chose not to. I don't know. I'm just saying he had opportunity and he didn't take advantage. So I'm giving him a C. I mean, you got to remember, you only got 10 first downs.
Larry?
I'm going to try to grade Cam on what I saw of Cam, not what the coaches called. And I thought Cam played a pretty clean football game. I really did. I would give Cam, for me as a quarterback, I would give him a C+ on his play. I can't factor in that other stuff that I don't know about, but I thought his ability to run, I thought he protected the football for the most part. We had the one fumble down inside, but again, I think that's a schematics thing for me more than anything else. But I thought that the interception that was thrown, it bounced off of someone and was picked off. I'm wondering why were we throwing anyway at that point in time before halftime. But I thought all in all, he gave us a good chance to win the football game. And he made some throws that would have and should have put us in a better situation if he had some help on the other end. So that's why I'm gonna go with the C+ for him as a quarterback.
We have a D+ and a D online.
Okay.
All right. Headset. Hold on. Headset.
What do you mean?
We're doing all.
So
that play had to come from somewhere.
So what you wanted me to grade the coach?
Headset.
D.
Larry?
We're talking about the entire coaching staff, or
no. Right?
Who coaches the?
Okay. No, I easily give the offensive coordinator a D-.
There we have it. Move on. Running backs.
We gained 29 yards.
Yes, sir. 1.1.
D.
I'm going to go with Ralph. I see the effort there, but I mean, if I'm running into a brick wall, what you want me to do?
Right.
I agree.
You know, I mean, I can only run what they call. So I'm going to give them. I'm not going to punish them. They ran hard. They ran what it was supposed to run. Nothing was there. I'm going to give them a C-.
I got an F for 1 and a D and a D-. So headsets. I think it kind of all still goes back under 1, but headsets RBs.
C.
Headset.
Yeah.
I definitely said offensive headset, D minus.
He's going to go across the board like that. All right. Let's go. I feel it. I feel it. All right. Let's go wide receivers. Ralph.
D minus.
I agree. D minus. Did not make the catches we should have made.
Big time catches.
Many of them.
I mean,
many of them.
You don't get
those that would have extended drives.
Yeah.
Those would have set us up for possible touchdowns. We didn't make the play. We didn't.
Headsets.
D minus.
D minus.
All right, let's go. And tight ends were included in.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
let's go offensive line.
D minus.
I'm going to go D. D is in D.
Headsets.
D plus.
D minus.
All right, let's go overall offense.
D.
And this is including headset for
D.
overall.
D. D or D
This,
minus.
yeah, this includes it. Yeah.
I'm gonna cheat on this one because I didn't even qualify.
You want us to break it up?
No, I'm gonna clarify why I'm cheating. When I taught the collegiate level and I taught elective classes, if you got a D, that's passing.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you got a D minus, you fail. And I'm giving a D minus.
Remedial, boy.
Yeah,
I tell you, he's going.
You don't get called professor for that.
That's right. It's on his shirt.
They would be asking, can you take the minus off? No, I'm taking the minus off.
All right. So that's our offense. Let's move on to defense. D line.
I'm going to give the D line a C plus.
Larry.
I'll stand with that. C plus.
Headsets.
C plus.
I like the team. I'll go C plus with Ralph on.
All right, let's go linebacker play. And we know blessings and prayers go out to Dearest Thomas. We had him on last week. Hopefully he's recovering well and bouncing back. But like he said last week, there's a lot of fight in that guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Listen, even when he got hurt.
You know, word.
He was trying to get back
and
out
trying to come back, and it came back and they shut him down.
He stayed dressed out in his game attire, at least the bottom, until late in the game, and that's when he went in and changed. So, linebacker, Ralph?
I'm going to give the linebackers a C.
Larry?
C minus.
Headset.
C minus.
Same thing.
All right. Let's go defensive backs. Did get interception out of it. I just wanted to put that in there.
Yeah, but we also had 3 guys catch touchdown passes, but nobody was.
Well, we had busted coverages on the back end.
So
that wheel route was something else.
Yeah, to me that's got D all over.
Yeah, I would say the same thing.
Headsets.
D.
Yeah, that you can't have those kind of busts.
Yeah,
not multiple busts.
Right.
That's got to be a D.
And some of those didn't occur like after extended drive. Some of them were like right when they came on the field.
Well, my thing, this is I don't care what defense you're in. If somebody is running, if I'm a cornerback and somebody is running a fly sweep to me, my side of the field, and I got a receiver over me, Daryl.
Yes.
And that receiver goes in I'm passing that off
we
to the
got
safety.
we got to talk.
I'm passing that off to the safety.
We
And
got
I'm
to
not
talk.
going to let that outside guy get deeper than I am.
Exactly.
And some of those guys back there have seen that before.
Of course.
You know.
That's part one of football right there.
Yeah. You got to tag off. Hey, you got him. You got him. He's in your. Yeah. That's headsets, Ralph. DB. I think I asked that. All right.
I think I'm going to give them a.
He said C or D?
C.
D.
He emphasized that too. He leaned in.
He leaned in on me on that one. He wanted to make sure I got the best.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Overall defense.
Okay.
Ralph.
Before I make my grade on it, and I said this earlier, I don't care what defense you got out there, but if you keep them on the field, you're going to wear them down. And I thought that's what happened to that defense on Saturday. I thought they got worn down. But remember, we only made 10 first downs.
I don't think it was just worn down. I think they got depressed because the offense wasn't doing nothing.
Okay.
I don't think they were physically worn down.
We stopped you a couple times. We got you the ball back, and it's still.
Yeah, and still, we wasn't doing anything.
Yep.
So
I'm going to.
How many times we said each side, each position has to carry their load.
Exactly.
And the defense carried their load, but the offense didn't even go get any water.
The offense failed them. So I'm going to give them a C.
All right.
Overall, I would give them a C. I was going to say C minus. I'd be nice and give them. They played well early.
We got overall defense at D minus online. Special teams. And we'll include the headset.
This year and last year, special teams have been different from any special teams I've seen it. I mean, prior to last year, there was never a game that we played, but we didn't run at least one kickback. And after we got the safety on Saturday, we got the ball, we fumbled the ball back first. So I'm going to give special teams a D minus.
After a good run, too.
You
can't.
Yeah,
that is very demoralizing.
Of course. And we did it right in front of our bench.
Yeah.
Well, I think, to me, with special teams, I think we need to divide it up. Because I don't have a problem with anything we've done kicking the football.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I got to separate that because our kickers have done a great job for us.
Yeah, we got to take
I can't put. They can't get this. They can't get this grade that the return people are getting. Okay,
exactly. Because our punter did it. Excellent.
Punter and kicker.
Both games.
Yeah,
they did it excellent job.
And so I think you have to separate that. Now on the return side of things, this is just me. I give us a D minus on the return, and I'm not a coach, but let me say this: y'all know how I go through that roster. I'd like to see some different return people out there. Finally, we got Bonbon in the game,
right
at the end, and just him with that football, you can see the move, the instincts. He is a game changer.
Yes,
you got to get him out there.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. But don't include the punter and the kicker.
No.
Because they're in the class by
because
themselves.
in the return game, we're not getting it done.
No,
we're not getting it done. And even our kick coverage can be better. It wasn't great against South Florida, but we got to get down there and make tackles and not be missing tackles.
We definitely.
Yeah, we don't appear to be a very good tackling team.
No.
I mean, they should never be getting back to the 40 on a kick.
No. And then the other part, see, when I go in games like this, and I'm playing somebody like a Mercer, I remember one thing that Coach Alvin Wyatt used to always say. Alvin Wyatt said, I was a return specialist. He said, I know how kicking game, return game can impact the football game. He said, I would never kick off. I would script some of these kicks. And when Mercer ran that first kick back, almost at midfield to start the game, I said, never, not anymore. If I'm kicking off, I'm scribbling the football.
Oh, kick it in the end zone.
Literally, I'm gonna make certain that I'm gonna disrupt their return scheme.
You got another C on special. So, all right, real quick, overall team.
Well, at the end of the day, the team is going to be judged between wins and losses. I'm going to give them minus. And the only reason it's not a D minus is we had opportunity.
Don't worry, I think we're going to get a D over to my left.
With Professor.
Yes.
Well, I just told you my grade scale. I will concede a D, but
Okay.
you know, so you can if this is an elective, you can skirt by, but that's not good enough. That's not good enough. And we're better than that.
Yeah, we are. We got the talent on that team to do a lot better than. But we'll get there.
We got a C minus on them. So there you have it for our grading recap of the Mercer game. I said I would come back to something. You said it earlier, Larry, but Mercer being the number 14th ranked, team in power rankings, that says a lot. I mean, those guys go and compete. Yes, we didn't play up to our full potential in that game, but you were playing a big time, let's just say, juggernaut. That
Daryl, I don't want to go here, but I know we're just doing a show. I'm wondering who schedules these games. That's what
I wonder that too.
That's the question I'm wondering. Do they understand who some of these people are?
They're just throwing it together.
I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there.
And that leads me to say that, I don't think it goes over into the office.
Oh, I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, I don't think it goes over into that office. And so
this is just a blind draw.
Yeah.
That's all this is. Like, look here. Like I'm in jail. This is what you gonna eat tonight, okay? I ain't got no say so.
And I think he has the coach to that.
Oh,
yes. That part of it. Like, man, I'm not going through what I went through last year.
No.
I've already lost a lineman already this year that I did not want to lose.
Absolutely.
Don't know about my linebacker. So, yeah.
Last year we lost 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
In one game. So I don't know.
Again, guys, we all this has happened to us in preseason, okay? We haven't even got to
it. And that injury was that guy, that offensive lineman rode the linebacker down to the ground. And that was,
I know. Is he lost for the year or?
Don't know.
Don't know.
I don't think so,
okay.
But don't quote me.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think.
All right.
Guys, let's go to the Western Michigan scouting report. Western Michigan comes into this contest 0-2. We travel out to Kalamazoo, Michigan. That kickoff 6:30 p.m. in Waldo Stadium in Kalamazoo, Michigan, an area that Ralph knows a little bit about. Ralph, what's the atmosphere like in Kalamazoo?
Well, a couple of years ago, Western Michigan, I think they went undefeated, had a pretty good football team. But football in that area is pretty big. I lived in that area for about 4 or 5 years. But again, and as we talk about Western Michigan, I'm going to make a comparison on the statement I made earlier.
You ever been Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids?
Yeah. I spent the summer of 67 there, and I can tell you this. It's the first time I have ever been in the country where I went out and picked my own corn. I've never had corn that good in my life. I never forgot it, And that whole area up the Kalamazoo, what is the other one? Battle Creek?
Yeah, Battle Creek.
All the cereal, it was beautiful up there.
Yeah.
Beautiful area.
Yeah.
Definitely. And yeah, Western Michigan is a good football program.
Absolutely.
If you look at them being 0-2, and we'll get into the stats a little bit, you have to look at they played preseason also. And
listen, they played well enough against Wisconsin to possibly beat Wisconsin. No doubt about that.
Right.
Literally.
Right.
That's a Big Ten team.
Yeah.
That who is it? I think is it Texas playing? Alabama's playing
Alabama
Wisconsin.
playing
Alabama
Wisconsin.
goes up there to Camp Randall this weekend.
Yep.
So a little bit about Western Michigan. They have 7 points per game. Their opponents have scored 42 points. In 2 games, they scored 14 points. Their opponents 84 points. But their opponents, as you guys have said, have been Wisconsin the first week.
Ohio State
the Buckeyes the second week. That's a 15-0 stomping. But
that's not the bottom of the Big Ten. That's the
echelon.
Okay? Upper echelon.
But the interesting thing about Western Michigan, so when they played Ohio, which actually they played them first,
right?
They had a 99 total yards, had 71 passes, 28. The following week, this is what I mean about effort and progress. They played Wisconsin. They had 261 yards, 141 passing, 120 rushing, and they scored 2 touchdowns. So what I said, effort and progress, they made progress.
So you're saying they played Wisconsin first?
Yeah.
And then Ohio State?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. No. Actually,
flip it around.
No, flip it. They played Ohio first, and they got thumped. Then they played Wisconsin last week. Yeah. But they made progress. They went from 99 yards to 261.
On the season, Western Michigan has 6 rushing first downs, 12 passing, and 1 penalty. As far as rushing, they've had 193 yards on the season, over 64 attempts. They average 2.3 yards per attempt. They average 74 yards a game, 2 touchdowns, total rushing 148 yards. As far as passing on the season, they've attempted 36 passes, completed 20. They've had 1 interception. They average 5.89 yards per game. Per attempt, 106 yards average per game. They have 0 touchdowns passing. Total passing on the season so far, 212. On offense, they've ran 100 plays. Average yards per play, 3.6. Average per game, 180 yards. Total yards, 360. Touchdowns, 2. Not the best on returns. Their kicking game is somewhat decent. Average penalties per game in yards, 13 yards. So they're well disciplined team, even against the big guys. Even against the big guys.
Very impressive, yeah.
On the season, they have 4 penalties and 27 yards after 2 games.
Yep, notice that.
That's huge. Total time in possession, average per game, 25 minutes, 3 seconds. So there you have it for Western Michigan.
I really, I'm looking for a lot of progress from our offense. Again, even though they're bigger than we are in terms of where they are ranked in class, I think that we can make progress. I'm looking forward to it.
So thanks, Mike, for that. It was flipped around. Wisconsin was first.
That's what I thought. I watched it. Y'all bothered me. I thought I watched Wisconsin play them. I'm like, how y'all gonna change the schedule? I saw them play Wisconsin.
But they went up. I mean, I won't say they went up, but Wisconsin and Ohio State. So to begin the season with that is commendable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as I said, they were in that game. They made plays against Wisconsin and had every opportunity to have a shot at winning it.
Yeah, but see, North Dakota State had given Wisconsin fits for it.
Okay.
And another team,
yeah,
that we know about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, going in against a decent Western Michigan Bronco team, those guys, Walt Bell's the OC there. They have a running back. They're starting running back, Keyshawn King,
who's a good kid. Really
was he out of Oakleaf?
Oakleaf, Florida.
Okay,
same
up
thing,
in
same
Jackson.
school as Trey.
Right. Walter Simmons. They played together there at Oakleaf. He was at Virginia Tech, left Virginia Tech, and was almost, he was almost a Wildcat. He was almost a Wildcat. Just some technical things and grades kept him from getting in here, but almost a Wildcat. He's their starting running back. As Mike said, those guys even, they rested some guys against Ohio State.
They did.
That's a going trend, and smart. Yeah, just say smart because you're not going. Yeah,
they're a very good looking football team.
Oh yeah,
they really are.
Very, very. Size wise, I mean, how do we match up size wise against those guys?
Well, I think they're going to be a little bit. I don't think it's any bigger than South.
Definitely. So it just remains to be seen. I mean, what do we have to do? What's our game plan going into that?
I think personally, we got to establish an identity in offense. We got to determine what is it we want to do. And I think we got to stick to it and then make adjustments as they make adjustments. I mean, if they make adjustments, you got to make it. If they stop you from doing this, then you got to go to something else. You got to have a backup.
In your summation, will we have that? And I know you can't answer for.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a difficult question, Daryl, because I in regards to the identity, we don't even know who's going to start the game as far as quarterback. We have no idea. If I had to answer your question, I'm going to say we need to win the turnover battle. We don't need to create any self-inflicted damage for ourselves and turning the ball over, giving them short fields. We need to win the kicking game.
Okay.
It would be good if we could get something out of our kicking game, like maybe a score, on a return or something. But we've got to win a few areas of the football game. Most importantly, we have got to not do anything to shorten the field for them and give them opportunities to score. They don't need help.
No.
So let me ask you, Ralph, and then I'll go to you, Larry. We're going to start on offense first. You're the offensive coordinator going into this contest against Western Michigan. What's your game plan?
What I'm going to do is use my speed. I want my guys out in space, and I want to use my speed because we're coming from Florida. We got tons of speed. And I want to establish something, and I'm going to be ready because they're gonna adjust to whatever you're doing good, and then I'm gonna have a backup plan to what we're gonna do. That's what I want to get to the edge.
I'm going to show a little bit more RPO this week. I'm going to have a few more opportunities with jet sweeps, as Ralph says, getting to the edge. I'm going to try to get the football more to my slot receivers over the middle, shorter routes, not throwing deep, possession type of down. That's what I'm going to look to. Most important, I guess what I'm saying, I want to move the chains. If I can make first downs, I can keep my defense fresh.
Keep them fresh.
Keep them off the football field, and give myself a chance to score points. That's what I'm gonna. But what most important, if I having said all of that, I'm gonna totally change the tendencies of what you've seen for the first week. I'm not gonna come out there and run that football directly in that line of scrimmage 29 times. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I may run it 29 times, but it won't be the same type of run.
Let me ask you guys this. Do you come into this game still, I hate to use the word coy, but do you come into this game and still hold something back?
Absolutely.
Because
absolutely.
You can't, I'm not going to say you can't afford to lose anybody. You don't want to lose anybody. You
got to play football.
Right.
You got to play football.
I don't mind putting a little bit more on tape, but I don't have to open up the playbook. You follow what I'm saying, Daryl?
Right.
I don't have to be as vanilla as I've been, but I do want to make the other defensive coordinators down the road realize that I got a little more than what I'm just showing you in these first two games.
And the reason I'm asking that question is Mike said online here, Western Michigan rested some guys against Ohio State.
Of course.
Which is
to be expected. They don't want to get broken up either. No. It's a money game for them.
We got a long season ahead. We got the whole season ahead of us. So.
Listen, guys, let's be honest. Unless you're in a real Power 5 league, say SEC, everybody's playing these games these first 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody's playing these type of games. So everybody's got a little something they hold in reserve.
Right. Definitely. Tell me what you're going to do on defense.
I'm going to play football. The only thing that I like to see us do differently on defense, I think we can do a better job attacking.
What are you looking to, and of course now everyone's seen on film the wheel routes and things of that nature that were thrown at us. Do you expect to see that Saturday?
If I'm a good offensive coordinator and I have reviewed those tapes,
that's going to be in there. There's no doubt in my mind about that.
You're going to see it.
That's going to be in there. And actually, we got a little of that against South Florida, but we played it better.
Right.
We saw it. We saw the wheel route, but we played it better.
Yeah.
What are you going to do to counteract plays of that nature?
I mean, I'm hoping all week that's what we talked about. Who are we going to cover? How are we going to cover it? Because you're going to see it. You're going to see it early. I mean, you're going to see it.
Right.
And you're going to see it the following week because Bach is outright a passing team. They throw the ball a lot.
I don't expect Western Michigan to come out and just air the football. I think they want to. I think they want to pound on us. I think they want to run the football. And defensively, I don't mind us having a bend but don't break defense. Don't give up anything big. Make them earn it.
Right.
Make them earn it.
Right.
Keep everything in front of you.
You agree, Ralph?
Of course. I don't like vanilla, but I don't want to come out of that game all hurt up.
Eat vanilla ice cream?
Yeah, I don't like I don't like being vanilla.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, he did it. I'm gonna have to talk to my buddy Cruse.
You eat vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
So overall, I need an overall game plan from top to bottom. 3 phases of the game. You got offense, defense, special team.
I mean, go back to what you said earlier. We want to throw to the slot. We want to try to get on the edge. We got to establish something. On defense, I wouldn't change that much. I like our. I really like our. I think our defense.
Man, if I win the toss and I defer, I'm not kicking it deep. I'm squibbing it to start the game off.
Yeah,
I'm a squibber. I'm not going to allow them to get a big play on special team early on. I want to make them have to earn it in every sense of the way. Change up a little something each week. in that regard. That's basically
and
what I'm
add
saying.
something each
And
week.
add some, yeah. When you change it up, add something. I definitely, if I'm putting my coaching hat on there, I'm definitely, since these are preseason games, and I get 4 games before I can take the red shirt off of somebody. I'm playing some of my younger players.
And I
I'm
think that's
getting-
what
I'm
we
getting
saw
some reps.
Saturday, this past Saturday.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Yeah.
you would probably look to continue that.
Absolutely.
You give them that game experience,
Give them
this
that game
type of game
experience.
experience early, it works wonders for you.
They can play 4 games.
Yes.
Listen, if I'm taking them on a trip, we're not going on a vacation, okay?
No, sir. No, sir. You locked in, you ready to go?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Next man up.
One of our guys, Mike, said he expects WMU to run the ball a lot. They have great backs and
They do.
big O-line,
Big
of course, as we said. Their pass game, as we, read the stats, has struggled.
And when I saw them against Wisconsin, they went tempo. A couple of times, about 2 or 3 times, they would get the 1st and 10, and they right back to the line, aka University of South Florida. We've seen that before. We stood up well against that at USF.
Yes.
So that shouldn't be anything new for us. But I think they're going to come in, they're going to run the football.
Miss Lodge says she doesn't like vanilla either. So, but she always says just what Ralph says. Love you, Miss Lodge.
Now, there you go. Now, why you go? Come on, I tell you.
Leave Ralph alone. Tailgate Ralph.
Oh.
Hey, look, you could only be so vanilla.
Larry, a game of this magnitude, never having played Western Michigan before, taking guys into an atmosphere. And let me pause for a minute. Kalamazoo, is there anything going on in Kalamazoo on a Saturday night?
Western.
Okay.
It's a college kind of town.
Right.
It's a college town.
I already knew. I just want
it's a college town. That's what it is.
How do you prepare your guys to go into an environment like that where it's truly, you're going to see a pretty full house?
It's the home opener for them.
Yes.
Okay? And so they're 0-2 just like we are. And so they're going to come in and want to make a statement.
Exactly.
I want my kids dialed in, focused, and I'm certain we'll be that way. What I always say is defense travels.
Yes.
We're going to give a good account of ourselves defensively. The X factor for us, Daryl, is will we get anything from the offense? That's the X factor. And if we do, then it can be kind of interesting for a while. I don't expect us to go in there and self-destruct or the moment to be too big for us.
Right.
I don't expect that.
No,
I don't expect that to happen.
No.
Our coaching staff has been on that level. They know how to prepare our teams for that. We just got to go in there and realize, we got to be the best version of ourselves that we can be and play a clean football game.
With the adversity you face, you go in there 0-2 on the season, as the same as Western Michigan. You get down early, and I know our coaches have prepared our guys because they've all been on this level. Go in, you could get down early. Let's just say we get down earlier. What do you think the mental stability of our team from what you saw Saturday?
Well, it's a Raymond Woody coach. So I don't think they're going to ever get down. I think they're going to be ready. I think some guys want to play better than what they played last week. I think we're going to be okay. I'm not worried about that. I just don't see a Raymond Woody coach team ever get
just
down.
laying down.
Yeah, I don't.
Sometimes when you play a game like we played Saturday, and like I said, we played well for the first half of the game. I mean, both sides, defensively especially. But I think sometimes when you have a game like that, the best thing in the world is to go on the road, to get away. It's just circle a wagon. It's just us. What's that saying? All we need?
Yes.
That's essentially what this is about. So I expect us to give a good account of ourselves.
You know, it's just like my son used to say. You know, he said the fans get all fired up. He said, but we stay at the same level.
The other thing that happens when you go on the road, most of the time you have a better focus because you're not, you know, when your people are in the stands,
exactly,
it's easy. It's more easy to get distracted by that. But I really think this is a good chance for us to kind of show a little more improvement than we showed last week against a much higher quality opponent.
We're going in and I will not say it's going to be that hostile of an environment. We're playing against a good team, but it will not be nothing that a lot of these guys haven't went into. They've went into a lot worse and a lot more vibrant, you know, atmosphere.
I can't imagine Western Michigan's home opener being anything greater than South Florida. Because South Florida had a ruckus crowd over there when we played them 2 weeks ago. So that's why I said I don't think the moment will be any bigger than anything we've already seen this year.
I don't. I mean, and when it all boils down, Western Michigan, if they just beat Eastern Michigan and Central Michigan, that's their season.
Those are the two kingpin games for them.
Right.
You know,
that's
that's for in-state bragging rights.
Exactly.
From that standpoint, but I really think that our kids are going to get on the plane in the morning and they're going to fly out there. They'll be business-like. They'll check in to the hotel. They have their sessions. They'll get a good night's sleep. They'll come out and they'll play football. Now, like I said, what I'm going to look at, most importantly, I want to see what, if any, changes we make on offense in terms of schematics, how we go about attacking this team based on what we didn't do last week. That's what I'm really looking at. And I know listen, Ralph, we have nowhere to go but up offensively.
Yep.
You know, we have nowhere to go but up offensively. And I don't expect the defense to have a letdown. I think, as I said before, not to sound redundant, but defense travels.
Yes, it does.
And so we have to kind of recognize
it's a different mindset.
Oh, it's a totally different mindset.
It's more of a attacking.
And can you imagine if we do get some offense, what an inspiration that will be for the defense? What a pick-me-up that will be? You know, and so we know we're going into I won't call it hostile, but an environment that's not home.
Exactly.
And so we got to play for each other. And if we can get both sides of that football complementing each other, then I think we got a pretty good chance to be in the game. I think the line on the game, if I started off at about 33 to 34 spread, is what the line was on the game as of yesterday, I believe. Darold sent that out. I think the over-under on the game was something like 51 on this football game. So it'll be interesting to see how we do against those numbers. You know, and do we beat the spread or do we allow them to cover the spread? And I think that's what that's how I will gauge a lot of this football game. But I'm just looking to see improvement is the one word that would qualify.
Progress.
For me. Exactly.
That's what I want to see.
And progress, you know, you will see. We know the skipper of this team will not let it, you know, continue the way it is. And I think there is a game plan behind it all, especially with preseason, and you see a whole, you know, you see a whole different squad. So, yeah, that's what I believe.
Well, and Daryl, that's what I'd like to see some of on display tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Should I say Saturday? Night,
yeah,
not tomorrow night, Saturday.
Definitely. So, Now, a word from our sponsor, Alpha One Staffing, the #1 staffing firm in America.
As we begin to reconsider how and where we want to work, Alpha One Staffing is here to help companies bridge the talent gap.
I really struggled to find a second career on my own after my retirement.
It's been hard for us to find the right candidates. Candidates who will push our team and business to the next level.
Then I heard about Alpha One Staffing.
Then I heard about Alpha One Staffing.
Then I heard about Alpha One Staffing.
Alpha One Staffing partnered with our HR team to help us understand exactly how to navigate this new digital world, even recommending strategies for recruitment and employee development.
I needed a job that would support my needs and lifestyle while also challenging me. Alpha One Staffing was completely transparent and knowledgeable about the process and provided me with the tools to feel more confident and prepared. I couldn't wait to start my new career.
We partner with our clients and assess their needs. We are the matchmakers, and our goal is to provide each client with the candidates that make a difference within their organization.
Alpha One Staffing understood that we needed a candidate with digital marketing experience in our industry, someone with an innovative mindset who could help expand our social media presence. Now, we couldn't be happier with our presence online and the impact that we are making globally.
Alpha One Staffing presented us with incredible, highly qualified, and dedicated candidates. We will definitely be using Alpha One Staffing for our next hire.
I was hired permanently after 6 months. This wouldn't have happened without Alpha One Staffing helping me get my foot in the door. If you're looking for work, I highly recommend Alpha One Staffing.
If you're a job seeker or an employer, go to alphaonestaffing.com and send us your resume or tell us about your hiring needs today.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome to the show, the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show, my man, #9, Malik Huggins. Malik, welcome to the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show, man. Glad to have you here on the show. How's it going this evening?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Blessed to be here.
Glad to have you here, man. Glad to have you here. Some big catches in the game on this past Saturday. Over the last few weeks, some huge catches and things of that nature. How was that transition from where you came from to here in Daytona? We'll start with that first. What led you to come to Bethune-Cookman?
I was kind of in a sticky situation the last 3 years, switching position when Gardner-Webb, North Carolina, another small FCS school.
Definitely.
But, coming here and coming back home, being around my people, been a blessing. Can't complain at all.
Definitely can't complain at all. And how's it been going so far? Coming in with Coach Woody and being under Coach Woody, coach team, playing on the offense, playing wide receiver. As I said, having some big catches down the stretch. How has that been for yourself? Do you feel at home here?
Right. Yeah. I don't know if you know or not, but me and Coach Woody actually same county.
Yes, sir. I do.
Yeah. So, yeah, Woody he give me a hard time sometimes. You know my people. So
Yeah.
We know all too well.
Yeah,
It's a West Coast Florida thing, huh?
Yeah. Bay Area. He don't go too hard on me, but I like Woody, man. Great guy.
Definitely a great guy. Larry?
Well, Malik, I saw you. You were over there, and I know the pedigree of your family
Right.
who played ball in that area, and I know everybody wanted you. Remember UCF recruiting. I mean, UCF recruiting you really big time, and other offers in the state of Florida.
Right.
And so when you went to Gardner-Webb, and then I heard that you were coming back this way,
Right.
and I knew Coach Woody roots in that area over there, so
Mhm.
I know that when I read the clippings on you, even at Gardner-Webb, they described you as an electric football player,
Right.
and most people don't know of your prowess as a quarterback. Okay,
Yeah.
I can speak to that because I saw a number of those games that you played in high school. So it's just so great to see you out there in the slot position.
Right.
And We just got to find a way to get the ball to more of our playmakers and let them make plays.
Correct.
And I think we saw a little of that this week.
Yeah.
Against Mercer with you making your catches in that game. So I'm just so thrilled that to have you here with us. Do you see yourself this offense expanding a little more as we go through the season?
Yeah, I think you can tell the difference between week 1 and week 2. I think week 1 was more of a let's just play fast, get the ball out. We took a couple shots, but it wasn't nothing as what you seen week 2. We threw a couple deep balls the first 3-4 drives, and we happened to not capitalize on them. But I don't think Coach Bino and the staff are going to hold back at all. I think they believe in us. I think the best is yet to come.
There you go.
We do have some playmakers, right?
Yeah. You better believe it.
I just I would confirm that. I know there's a lot of talent out there in that football field, and like I said, getting that football to you guys in space and letting you do your thing.
Yeah,
that's. I noticed that Coach Woody uses you a lot in the return game as well. You know.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable with that real well?
Yeah. I actually was at my old spot. Was the #1 punt returner in the conference. I was top 10, top 15 in the nation. So Coach DJ tried to give me a little bit of. He tried to
show you a little love.
Yeah. He was trying to go hard on me, but I hold it down back.
Okay, all right. Yeah. That's what I want to hear. Yeah. I'm just looking forward to more of him as we go through the season.
Definitely. Definitely, Ralph.
So Malik, I've never met you before, but it's almost like I've been knowing you all my life because Larry knows everybody.
And then some.
So
I have to call to remind who we got.
Because he's going through the roster. He knows everybody. I'm thinking that he got a lot of kids. But anyway, glad that you came to Bethune-Cookman and hope great things for you this coming weekend and weeks to come.
Most definitely. Malik, we have tons of Wildcats watching all over the country. And if you had a word for the Wildcat Nation, what would that be? They're watching now. Go ahead and give them that word.
Just stay down, man. We ain't going nowhere. A few bumps in the road, but I think that the first 3 weeks was the toughest part of our schedule, and I think that SWAC play comes around. I think we're gonna pull through and make it happen.
There you go.
Yeah. Right. That's
what I
want to
hear. True champ.
Yeah,
definitely.
Well, Malik, we thank you for stopping by the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show, man. Glad to have you. We'll blessed to have you back, man. Thank you for coming by, and good luck this week, as Ralph said, and the rest of the year, man. And we'll look to have you back on the show here in the very near future.
Yes, sir.
Man, don't let Owen eat up all the food.
Yeah, you see him? He's going ham over there.
He back there working.
What?
It's like he's trying to get a sack or something.
Yeah, I'm about to eat some of his food.
There you have it, guys. Number 9, Malik Huggins for our Wildcats. And thank you, Malik, for stopping by.
Absolutely. Good luck to you, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Keep an eye on number 9, okay?
Definitely keep an eye on number 9. Thank you, sir. Guys, there you have it. Malik Huggins, man. He return phenom, big time wide receiver, man.
Look here. Let me tell you something. If I was playing OC, I have a little pass gadget where he can throw the football on an RPO when they come around on a reverse pass, because he can spin it.
Oh, definitely. He looks like it too, man. He looks like it too. He said, this comment, keep that wide receiver room together. So there's a big shout out to Malik being one of the senior guys in that room in there. So we have a huge, a great receiving core. Great receiving core. And as you said,
I guess that's why I'm so excited, because I just want the guys to get the ball in their hands so we can let people see what they can do.
Get them in space.
Definitely.
That's all I want. Once we let that out of the bag, we're going to send shockwaves out to people when they see what we have.
Most definitely going to send those shockwaves out to everyone, and it's coming. As he said, it's coming.
I believe it is.
Definitely coming. What as you see, man, Coach Woody, and granted, he's their hometown boys,
Of
but
course.
he went out and
Of
just
course,
got a
listen,
whole.
when I heard he was available, and I mean, I went online and read some articles down in Bradenton and what have you.
Right, right.
Because Malik's whole family, I mean, he comes from a legacy of great athletes that have played down in that area, in the Bradenton area.
Right. Oh,
so,
man.
I mean, it's
that area
unreal.
right there, especially, the guys who've played out here at Daytona Stadium. You've had the Peter Warwicks, you've had the Tommy Frazier's, the Raymond Woodies. Let's go through the roll.
That area over there, particularly when Coach Canan was coaching over there at Bradenton Manatee.
Right.
Oh, my goodness.
Right. Most definitely. So, well, it'll be interesting to see. I think we're going to be okay.
And listen.
There's no need to push the panic button or anything of that nature. I think we're going to be okay.
Let me put it this way. If the cupboard was bare, I wouldn't be sitting here making this kind of noise.
No. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's not what we do. We know that it's gonna be okay. It's definitely gonna be okay, and we will prevail.
Now you got Ralph's fishing partner coming up here.
Oh, Lord.
I just had to put that out there.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Like to welcome Mr. Oren Patu, number 11, Oren Patu, defensive end, to the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show. Oren, man, welcome to the show. You're up here with your fishing boys. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks for having me.
Hey, no problem, man. It's great to have you here on the show, man. Welcome to Daytona. I know you've been here for a while. What was that transition like coming from? First, you, of course, were at Cal, then Arizona, and then the world's most famous beach. Take us through that.
It was crazy. Finished up my schooling at Cal, got my degree here.
Congrats.
Thank you. And transferred to Arizona, and I had a fun time there. And got the call from Coach Woody once I was in the portal again. I know that I've known him since high school.
Definitely.
His son actually played in high school together here. He actually transferred to Cal, and we played over there. I have one more year left, and I figured that I'd give it a shot over here. I didn't even know what Bethune-Cookman was until I started doing my research and stuff, and I just knew what type of guy that Coach Woody was. I knew what he wanted to do here.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's great. I want to ask you one thing, Oren. How's the food been over at the calf?
It's been good. Sometimes you gotta sauce it up and put certain things together, but you can always make a way.
There you go. Ralph?
I don't want to talk to him about fishing.
We're talking football, the other half.
I watched you Saturday, and I said, you know what? I told Darold before you made that safety, I said he's getting ready to make a safe field play. And you made me look good. You made me look good because I called it. But we're glad to have you, and I know things are going to get better. And I love the defense anyway, so I'm pro defense, and I'm glad to have you here.
Thank you,
Larry.
Oren, I tell you, Oren, when I look at you on that edge, you look like a Power 5 guy. Okay, there's no doubt about it. Where you come off that edge, and I think the quarterback from Mercer understood that too, because he was constantly looking to see where you were, and he had great escapability. But it was so good to see you guys really get after him, and we contained him a lot better than certainly Presbyterian did, and we got good pressure on him all night long. We just didn't get it done, as a team, coming up a little short on the end. But how do you? Is the defense coming together the way that you feel like it should be coming together?
Yeah, No, I think we're showing signs that we can be very decent. We got to clean a couple things up the last 2 losses. Yeah, we're coming together and we're getting closer forward into.
I know. I met you when Trey was moving, and we started talking about fishing and stuff. So I never forgot. You and JB. You know, me and Ralph. We gonna get you guys out there. I by virtue of watching you work on that food back there, we're gonna have to catch some fish. Okay.
These wings are good.
I hear you know, but we're just so delighted to have you here, man. I mean, I know this is the last hurrah at the collegiate level, but we can already see what you bring to the table, and it's that kind of leadership that Coach Woody needs to help build this program. You know, from that standpoint. So, congratulations to you. Happy to have you here.
Real quick, Oren. So take us real quick through that the safety that you had on Saturday. What was going through your mind? You checked into the game. Their backs are to the end zone there, and take us through that play.
Yeah, we had a rough first half, and we locked halftime, talking with Coach Woody, Coach Foley. Now, right now, it's 0-0 again, and we got to bounce back and stand on business. All that talking is out. Time to do something. Went out there, fortunate enough to get backed up. I was going against a tackle I've been all week. Already, I had my move plan and ready to go. And, ball snapped, did a move. I was right there, so just exciting and glad that bring some points.
There you go.
You flashed on him real quick. He wasn't expecting that move. I mean, you were buying before he knew it.
Have you ever scored in your collegiate career? Have you ever scored points?
No, that's first time.
Congrats, man. That's huge.
Great job.
Congrats, man. Congrats. Oren, we're talking to all of Wildcat Nation right now. If you had some things to say to Wildcat Nation, now would be the time to do so. Of course, we're going to have you back on the show often, but now would be your time to do so. What do you have to say to Wildcat Nation?
Same as Malik. Don't sleep on this. I know the first a little rough, but we're going to bounce back and make Wildcat Nation proud. Hail Wildcats.
Hail Wildcats. Yes, sir. Hey, thanks for joining the show, man. We're glad to have you. And as I say, we'll have you back soon. Go and enjoy your wings, man. They are good.
I'm about to go kill them right now. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you. Yes, sir. There you have it. Number 11, Oren Purtu, defensive end, and number 9, Malik Huggins, here on the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show. 2 awesome guys, man, that we're glad to have here in Daytona.
Quality athletes, quality young men.
Definitely so. That's all. Hey, if you don't have that 3-0, don't look to come here.
That's it.
That's a huge thing. So not just, it's not just about coming here to play football, man. It's about education too.
Exactly.
And you can tell these guys, they honor that commitment, Darold. They're not just athletes, they're student athletes, okay?
Most definitely.
And you can tell by the way they communicate, but by the way they carry themselves.
I mean, quite a few of these guys, quite a few on this team already have their degree.
They already have their degree.
Have their degree and going for another, so that's, you cannot beat that, man. You cannot beat that.
Nope. And those are the kind of individuals we want it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, guys, it is now that time. We've kind of been missing it for the last few weeks, but it's time to turn up the volume and let's hear from our fans, questions, and things of that nature. This is our live call-in segment where we're going to have our fans call in. We're going to try it. Hopefully we won't have any tough technical difficulties. If we do, we will definitely get you in at some point in time. Our live Q&A segment comes up now. That call-in number is 386-287-1226. 386-287-1226. If you are calling in, please make sure you turn your computer or radio down so we won't have feedback coming through. Ralph's already had his say for tonight, and he's done for the night unless you got a question for him. Now he's turned to fishing. He's gone fishing. Nah, but we'd love to have you call 386-287-1226. 386-287-1226. That is the number to talk to the Gridiron Gang.
I know we got some followers out there, and I watched the posts that they constantly putting up there, so give us a call.
There's one who I know you didn't you tell someone Saturday that they needed to call into the show?
Yes.
Her initials, I think, start with an E and last with a P.
Yeah. Miss Wildcat.
Miss Lodge is always taking up for you, man. Leave him alone. Y'all don't know what he does off the air. Call in 386-287-1226. 386-287-1226. That is the number to call into the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show, and we'll get you on live. Don't be bashful. We, like you said, we saw the posts out there, and we can. We saw the post. So 386-287-1226. We're here with the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show. Guys, pro football game going on tonight. There's a couple of college games going on tonight. Our game is going to be on ESPN Plus. So if you don't have ESPN Plus or don't have access to it as of yet, go ahead and sign up for that. That's a 6:30 p.m. kickoff in Kalamazoo, Michigan. We are traveling up there to Kalamazoo, flying to Grand Rapids.
It can get a little cool up there at night.
Yeah, so I was just doing the itinerary for the trip, and I think it's 61 or 62.
That's what I saw.
Night.
That's a different 61.
Oh, yeah. We know. we know, man. But 88 during the day, but we're playing at night.
But that's what I remember about being up there in the summer. It got cool at night. Oh my goodness.
Yes. That's not for the faint of heart, and I'm glad we're playing them now instead of later on in the season. You can't take these Florida boys. I remember being at Florida State, going up and playing Maryland and places like that. It's like, oh man. Or Virginia, yeah.
You go across that Mason-Dixon line, but you better bring a jacket with you.
Yeah. It's definitely
especially
rough.
at night.
Yeah, so definitely so.
Whoever's going to the game up in West Division, make sure you take a sweater or a jacket.
Absolutely.
The later it gets, the colder it gets.
Definitely so.
So do you know whether or not our next home game is going to start at?
I believe from here on out, until the time changes, I believe it's 3:00 from here on out. And then when it changes, they might, even
earlier.
Yeah. Last year, I think we had one or two. I think one started at 1:00 or something like that. One last year. So 386-287 1226. 386-287-1226. That's the number to call in to the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show. Big touchdown by James Cook.
I was about to say, you can't bring it back home to Miami now.
Yeah, that's show out time.
You get those Cook boys down there in Hard Rock. You better look out.
Yeah, definitely got to look out. Brothers over there with the Cowboys on the practice squad. He probably won't practice squad long.
I'm glad Dalvin got picked up. I really am.
Me too. Me also, guys. 386-287-1226. So, guys, not to jump ahead, but as Ralph asked, we're going to welcome in Clark Atlanta back into Daytona next weekend, and those guys will, of course, we'll cover that game on next week.
Yeah, they've only played one other time, and that was in 1963 in the Gator Bowl, the Gateway Classic, and boy, what a game it was! The greatest football player to ever come out of Clark, who played for the New Orleans Saints, was a guy by the name of Elijah Nebbets. We could not stop him. He ran the open kickoff back. He played both ways. I mean, he was an incredible athlete. We did end up winning the game, a little closer than I would have liked, but we pulled it out. But they'll bring some people down with them.
Yeah,
they're
definitely.
in South Florida this week against Florida Memorial.
Oh, are
That's
they?
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're down to Florida
yeah.
Memorial. Betty Ferguson Park down there.
So the question was asked: can we score at least 2 touchdowns against Western Michigan?
Let's go. We scored 2, they scored none.
There you go, Ralph.
That's the goal.
Can it be done? Why?
I think so. I think we got the talent. I sort of put them as they stand now with Philadelphia. I kind of think they're. I don't think they're nearly South.
No. I mean, as we know, that South Florida team just went in, like I said, Bryant Denny Stadium and put up fits, and I thought was going to.
I thought they should have won it.
Yeah, score in the last waning minutes of the game. As Mike said, man, I am so glad we were playing them in September. I saw some of the pictures of the Central Michigan game last year, and they played in blizzard.
Brutal. It was brutal.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
I mean, I lived in that area. It's going to be up there when it gets.
Yeah, when it goes downhill up there, it goes downhill.
And quick.
And they don't get nearly as much snow as they used.
Wow.
Because I was in Lansing last week, and there wasn't any snow.
Wow. 386-287-1226, 386-287-1226. That is the number to call. Guys, let's talk about a little bit about the surroundings of, our tailgate last week, the first home game experience. It was an hour earlier. Do you think that that factored into attendance?
I like it, though. I mean, because I don't think we school advertised well enough to let people know have a 3 o'clock start rather than 4 o'clock.
Right.
That changes everything.
Right.
That
Definitely.
start time.
Yeah.
I mean, even us doing our tailgate was kind of weird that we were out so early.
Yeah. Caller, you're on the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show. Welcome.
Good evening.
Good
Linwood Carter.
Yes, sir. How's it going this evening?
I'm doing fine. Glad you guys are back on the air. But I would like for you to elaborate on something that I just can't understand myself. Watching the game on Saturday, our offensive coordinator, what is the logic of continuing to run the ball up the middle when we have no holes? Do we have not the speed to go around the edges? If you could elaborate on that, I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you for calling in. We have the speed to do anything we want. And, we can turn corners, and we've seen it turn corners. Heck, we have that wheel route combination in our, in our repertoire. There's a lot of stuff we could do.
When I first saw the alignment that Mercer put up against us,
right,
and I saw how heavy their box was inside, I thought to myself right away, because not only did they have the down linemen in tight inside, they had the backers in there. And I just thought that set up well for us to try to get to the edges. Now, you can either play the football game in a phone booth or you can play it, out in field. And that's what spread offenses have done now. They've made you defend the entire football field. I don't necessarily want to abandon running up the middle, but I think you have to set it up. If they're playing you inside, you got to go outside. If they got that many people in the box, you got to throw it to back them out of there. You want to create a lighter box. And that's football 101. So I don't know. I can't go any further than that. I don't know what other tendencies we might be looking at. But if I'm certain as a defensive coordinator, I would have just loved to face us if that's all we're going to do the whole game.
But to answer your question, we have tons of speed.
Oh, no doubt about it. And we saw us last year use the jet sweep a lot.
Right.
We just haven't seen much of it this year.
So I think down the stretch, maybe not this weekend, but within the week after and weeks to come, you will see more of the outside, getting us on the edge and letting the playmakers make plays.
So. Wouldn't it be interesting if in our first possession this week we run a jet sweep just to kind of see how Central Michigan would react to that? Because we didn't show any of that last week.
We showed a little bit. I mean, on the fumble, we showed the motion out of it, but to actually run it.
Run it.
I think we did one time. I think we ran it on the edge, but it got, they came up quick on it. Okay. I think it was further up the field to our side. Yeah.
Because we didn't do a good job with the guys.
Yeah.
We just went into a regular set.
Well, one other question I have would be the receivers. There was a few balls dropped that, I understand, the ball touched your hand, you ought to be able to catch it.
Yes, sir.
Can you elaborate on what was going on with our receivers?
I couldn't honestly tell you. I know we had Malik in here earlier, but it's just we got to keep our head in the game, especially when those big jump plays like that. We gotta have those at the end of the day. But I'm sure that that has been corrected throughout the week. It wasn't even a rain game either, so those were just like flat out, not bringing it in. So yeah. I believe that's been worked on, and you'll see a lot different from here on out.
Well, I am 100% Wildcat. Win, lose, or draw. I'm with the Cat. So Hail Wildcats. Let's go to Central Michigan and Western
yes, sir.
Michigan. Yeah, whatever. I don't know anything about them, but I'm looking for us to go up there and win the game.
Yes, sir. Most definitely. Same here.
So Hail Wildcats.
Hail Wildcats. Thank you for calling in, and we look forward to talking to you next week.
Hey.
All right.
Have a good one.
Have a good night. Yes, sir.
I can imagine a lot of people were wondering some of the same things that
Lynn was.
mentioned just then.
Definitely. 386-287-1226. 386-287-1226. And you can never let the game be too big for you. And, at those points in times when I won't even say the game's on the line, but those are crucial points that we just have to have, we got to secure the ball before we run. And, I know one of them was hitting in stride and, we let it go. But I don't think you're going to see much of that because that's very detrimental. 386-287-1226, 386-287-1226. Lodge said, thank you guys for feeding her Ed White students. And, she's very welcome for that. And just to let everyone know, we're going to continue that tailgate tradition. So, no matter where you at, we're on the lake every home game except for homecoming. Homecoming, we're in spot 90. Already have it, booked for this year. We're in spot 90. Come by and see us. It's a great time over there. You get to meet the one and only Miss Emma Price. So.
Oh, Miss Emma. Oh, yeah.
You get to meet the one and only Miss Emma Price. And,
wild.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Man, true shout out to our support staff for the football team. Without them, a lot of this wouldn't be possible. And they put in some hard work and dedication.
They do.
Even we practice at 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
And from some of the young ladies are telling me they're there at 4:30 in the morning getting things ready, and we do get in and out of there, which for practice. So huge shout out to them. Stop by and see them also. They'll be there. They're going to find out where the fish is or whatever we have.
Always. There's no doubt.
Seafood rice.
They come check on us before they check the locker room. Okay.
He's definitely got a point there. He's definitely got a point. 386-287-1226. 386-287-1226. That's the number to call in to the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show. So, guys, guess we need to ask, we're going to have a tailgate for Clark Atlanta. It's not to jump forward to Clark Atlanta, but what do people want? Oh, yeah. We had a early visit of that team up in Tallahassee out there at the tailgate. Black Snake comes through the tailgate area. And,
oh, boy. That was something, wasn't it?
Yeah, people scurrying and everything, and then
I wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah,
couldn't get him to leave.
Then
where did it go? I never figured
it might still be in
did it go up in the car?
Her vehicle.
Yeah, it did.
Oh my goodness!
It went up to the car.
Then when after everybody left, we had the little sighting of the little baby gator.
Yeah, he's always
baby
there.
gator.
He came in.
They're
late.
usually bigger.
I think that was the French fries that woke him up
I think so.
in the lake.
But a good time had by all, and stop by and see us. It's the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Club. We'll be on the lake, as I said. Stop by, introduce yourself, and dine on some of the best food out at the stadium.
I just want our people to eat healthy.
Put them to eat healthy.
What do you mean by that, Larry?
You want them to eat healthy, we throw it on the fried fish.
I'm lobbying for something else.
No French fries for Larry. No French fries.
Yeah, we need to have some potato salad, some salads. Ralph did bring up, what was that, a vegetable plate or something?
Yeah, he did.
But I found out that nobody likes fish.
I ate some, Ralph. I ate a little bit. And then I think Jerry took the rest of it.
I told Jerry to take the whole thing.
That's good.
So we'll try something else next.
French fries?
No.
Onion rings? 386-287-1226. 386-287-1226. Yes, we do have fun on the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show. It's not all football.
No.
It's just all, in the brotherhood, sisterhood, getting along. We're here to help out every young man, young woman who, steps on the Bethune-Cookman campus. That's what we're here for. And we enjoy bringing this show to you.
And I just wish my frat brother was here tonight. My compadre, Brother Cruse.
Too much water in Jacksonville, my friend. Too much water in Jacksonville.
Guys, it's almost time to end the show. I want you to give us some closing words. Let's go with Ralph first.
Well, I'm looking forward to, as I said earlier in the show, I'm looking forward to us making progress. And on our offensive side, I think our defense is okay. Just got to keep them off the field. I think we're going to start seeing that progress.
Most definitely, I agree with you, Ralph, that I think it will carry forward. And these guys are hungry, not only for a win, but just, do their jobs, do what they're supposed to do to help bring that win. If everyone does their job, mistakes, we got to cut down on mistakes, cut down on things of that nature, and we will be victorious. We will be victorious. As Jerry wrote in the write-up in the same for Stephen Holmes, man, this is really year one for Coach Woody. And,
it is that.
In reality,
we're not going backwards. It's we're going to come with it. The biggest thing, man, if we were to lose every game, the discipline is there. And that goes a long way. The discipline in the classroom, like I said, you can't be on this football team if you don't have a 3-point.
No, it's accountability throughout the
Well,
program.
big time.
Really, I mean, with those kids, especially, that's essentially what it is. And when we unlock the mystery of our offense and truly open up the playbook, because I'm certain there's more meat on the bone than we've shown, but I think some things will start to click in that regard. Again, what has gotten me, not to sound redundant, what has gotten me over the disappointment of what I saw last week is the idea, and I'm not asking people to adopt my philosophy, but I'm treating these 3 games as preseason. That's essentially what I'm doing. And I don't say that it is a throwaway, but I think that we should play better Saturday than we played at home this past Saturday. Because I saw the effort we gave at South Florida. And that was a quality effort, particularly after seeing South Florida do what they did against Alabama.
One thing that I posted a video from that I saw on Instagram or Twitter, the old X or the new X. But what we have as a staff is a team who everything down to where is cognizant of how you're going to play. If you come out on the field, your shirt's untucked. This was Kirby Smart and Nick Saban talking, and guys in practice had their shirt untucked. And, they're calling them out at practice. It's the same way here, man. We're going to wear the same things, from coaches down to support staff down to the players are going to have the same thing on. And if you don't, then it's going to go to the coaches. You're standing there watching him. He doesn't have the right thing on. That's punishment. But a lot of that stuff matters in detail. It comes down to, hey, if you do the little things right, the big things will come with it.
Yep.
And that's what we all have to remember. We all see the wins and losses, but we don't see the other stuff that goes behind it to bring those wins, and that's what we have over at. That's what we have.
Yep.
So we just have to keep pushing forward.
Well, that's what we're going to do. And like I said, I'm certain Coach Woody is not going to back off of that accountability of holding those student athletes to that standard, because that's who he is in that regard. And I think as soon as we have a breakthrough here and our offense comes out of the closet, and we get that one team effort where everybody's pulling their weight, both all 3 special teams, defense, offense. I think we'll all breathe a sigh of relief.
Definitely.
In that respect.
And we know it's coming.
I think it's coming.
We know it's coming. We know it's coming. So be great to see it when it does show up. So 6:30 p.m. kickoff this Saturday, Kalamazoo, Michigan. The Western Michigan Broncos versus our Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Televised on ESPN Plus, as I said before. If you don't have it, go on the Disney Channel or Disney Network and sign up. If you have DirecTV, I don't know what to tell you, but go to somebody's house who doesn't have DirecTV. There is a dispute right now. So,
I'll tell you something. I stumbled across something, and I talked with Brother Ralph, and he gave me his typical Ralph commentary anytime it comes to spending some money. He had to remind me of his Ralphism. I ended up buying a phone. And little to my mind, I had an old phone. Now, I told Ralph about the phone. And Ralph asked the man about the phone. And I guess the man told him what it cost. So Ralph quickly said, let's move on to something else. but let me tell you something. What I found out, this Z Phone 5, where's my old phone? I couldn't get ESPN Plus. I can watch this just like I'm watching my TV.
I know we were talking about that. And,
unbelievable.
Ralph's going to catch up with you though.
No, I'm not.
We talked about it tonight. We're going to get you there. 30 days. Oh, give me 30 days. Yeah, give me 30 days. He's going to be right there.
Don't get me.
He won't have that kind of phone.
But don't get me started. We talk about the truck. He tells me, "Oh, I started to get that. I started, but man, that's too much money." I said, "Ralph, stop, Ralph. Don't do that. Don't even try to do that to me." Okay. So
Larry likes to spend money.
No, don't even try that. Don't even try that. But I love the fact that I can now don't have to have the laptop. Right. I can watch it right off the phone.
There you go.
And that's beautiful.
It makes the tailgate even better. For Mr. Ralph Smith, Mr. Larry Wesley, Mr. CC Cruse, and the creator, Mr. Jerry Bell, I'm Coach Darold Williams. The Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show. Good night. Good evening. Hail Wildcats.
Hail Wildcats.
And let's cheer on the win Saturday night. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Bethune-Cookman University alma mater.